good if you want to kind of offer your preferred definition of consciousness so that people know exactly what it is we're talking about as we go forward.
Right, because when we use the word consciousness, people have lots of assumptions about what you're talking about. So some people might assume that you're talking about some very high level of self-reflective awareness that maybe perhaps only humans can have, or few very advanced species might have. Or consciousness might be merely awareness without any content at all at the other extreme. And so for me, the hard problem of consciousness is completely taken with just simple experiences like, the taste of coffee, the smell of a donut, right? Just having coffee and donuts raises the hard problem of consciousness. So something that I could imagine is part of the world of a rat, but smells and tastes. The question there is, how are those kinds of conscious experiences? So perhaps no notion of an ego, of a self that's having the conscious experiences, no notion of reflection, no transcendental kind of stuff. I mean, those are all interesting and they raise their own problems, but the scientific problem is already raised by a rat smelling coffee. That's already hard enough for us. And the problem that we've got is that we have, in the last few decades, gotten scores, maybe hundreds of clean correlations between neural activity, as you well know, neural activity and conscious experiences, neural correlates of conscious experiences. But we have no theory that can explain, if you want to assume that the brain somehow causes or brain activity is our experiences, there's no theory that can explain that for even a single conscious experience. So to be very, very clear, there's no scientific theory that can take a single conscious experience like the taste of vanilla and say, this neural activity must cause or be the taste of vanilla for these reasons. It could not have been the taste of chocolate or the smell of garlic or the sound of a trumpet, and these are the reasons. This is the principal reason. And here's why: if you change the neural activity in this way, it would have to be the smell of a rose. It couldn't be. And so there's nothing on the table for even one conscious experience. And this is not because we haven't tried. I mean, we have Nobel Prize winners such as Francis Crick, who've been working at this very, very hard now for decades. And we can't explain even one specific conscious experience. So that's why it's the hard problem. It's hard problem not only because we failed so far, but because we understand that the concepts we're applying to it just don't obviously have any chance of succeeding. The way we're thinking about it right now, from a physical, space-time is fundamental, microphysical particles, neurons are, that's the fundamental reality. We just have no idea how that framework could possibly explain consciousness.